Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure what to do. Did we rumble you? Okay, right.
What if I told you that a single moment at a Coldplay concert would destroy a marriage, break the internet, and expose the darkest secrets of a tech CEO's double life? What began as a magical night of music quickly spiraled into one of the most devastating public betrayals of 2025, and now, the woman at the center of it all has finally broken her silence. It all started at Gillette Stadium in Boston, during the biggest concert of the year, where the energy was electric and the crowd was swept up in the magic of Chris Martin's voice. In the middle of it all sat Andy Byron, CEO of the booming tech company Astronomer, with Kristen Kbat, the company's chief people officer. When the kiss cam landed on them, what should have been a cute crowd pleaser turned into a catastrophe. The woman Andy kissed wasn't his wife, and in a matter of seconds, that stolen moment was captured, recorded, and would eventually be seen by over 46 million people online. The fallout was instant. Their shocked expressions said it all: they'd been caught. As the footage made its rounds on social media, Chris Martin, unaware of the chaos he had just set off, cracked a light-hearted joke: either they're having an affair, or they're just very shy. A line that would go viral as the ironic caption of one of the most explosive videos of the year. But while the internet erupted in jokes, memes, and speculation, there was a woman, Andy Byron's wife, sitting at home, watching her world collapse in real time. Her name has been kept private for her protection, but the heartbreak was universally understood. She discovered her husband's betrayal not through a private conversation, but through a viral video that the world had already seen. She lived every betrayed spouse's nightmare as people texted her, tagged her, or she stumbled upon it herself while scrolling. As millions laughed, made memes, and dissected the body language frame by frame on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, she endured unimaginable pain. Her heartbreak turned into digital entertainment. What made it worse was what the internet soon uncovered. Kristen Kbat wasn't just a random woman. She worked with Andy every day. As his chief people officer, she was a trusted colleague, someone who shared late nights at the office, leadership responsibilities, and, as it turned out, a growing personal relationship. This wasn't a moment of weakness. It was a calculated, ongoing affair playing out in the shadows of boardrooms and tech conferences, right under everyone's noses, especially his wife's. The betrayal cut deeper than personal. It breached professional trust, emotional safety, and the core of a marriage. Every time Andy came home to his wife, he had just left Kristen's side. The deception ran through both his personal and professional lives, layered in lies, hidden in plain sight, until one concert and one camera ripped it all wide open. Every business trip, every casual mention of work colleagues, suddenly, it all looked different through the lens of betrayal. Andy Byron's wife was likely replaying months, maybe even years of conversations, searching for missed signs, doubting her own instincts, and wondering how she could have been so blind to something happening right in front of her. The psychological toll of such a public betrayal is immeasurable. Most people who discover their partner's affair get the privacy to process it, to decide how to respond, to confide in those they trust. But Andy Byron's wife had no such privilege. Her agony became instant public property, memed, mocked, and magnified across every screen in the world. And then, in a detail that made it all even more heartbreaking, the internet noticed she had changed her last name on Facebook before deleting her account entirely. A small action, but it spoke volumes. This was a woman who had proudly shared her husband's name, built a digital life around their love, and was now erasing it all, piece by piece, because it had been built on lies. The ripple effects of that one kiss cam moment didn't stop with the marriage. Astronomer, the tech company where both Andy and Kristen worked, was suddenly facing a PR crisis rooted not in its products but in its leadership. Employees, investors, and clients watched closely as the lines between personal indiscretion and professional misconduct blurred in real time. But amid all the viral frenzy, we must confront something more sobering: the human cost of our social media culture. We live in an age where private moments can become public spectacle in seconds, where a woman's worst day becomes the internet's favorite meme. This wasn't just about an affair. It became a reflection of who we are as a society, consuming pain like it's entertainment. The video of that kiss racked up 46 million views and 5 million likes, each one a digital fingerprint of someone who laughed or gawked at a woman's heartbreak. The desensitization is alarming. We forget that behind every viral video are real people with real lives being torn apart. The timing made it worse. Coldplay concerts are supposed to be joyful, soul-stirring events, not the scene of emotional devastation. Even Chris Martin's innocent joke, "Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy," unwittingly became the tagline of the most painful moment in someone's life. And think about the person who first shared that video. They likely thought they were posting a funny clip, never imagining it would lead to the destruction of a marriage and become one of the most viral scandals of 2025. With one tap, they unleashed a chain reaction that is still spreading. But beyond the clicks and views lies a deeper question. What does this say about modern relationships, especially those lived in the public eye? Andy Byron wasn't a celebrity, but as a tech CEO, he operated under constant scrutiny. And as workplace dynamics shift in our increasingly blurred personal-professional lives, this story forces us to ask, how do we manage boundaries? Workplace affairs are not new, but what made this one devastating was the way it was exposed: sudden, public, irreversible. Yet while the world obsesses over the meme, somewhere a woman is grieving not just the loss of her marriage, but the collapse of her reality. She's left questioning everything: her trust, her judgment, even her sense of identity. When betrayal is so absolute, it doesn't just shatter your heart, it fractures your entire worldview. And in a culture obsessed with instant responses and viral statements, her silence speaks louder than any tweet ever could. Andy Byron's wife has shown a rare kind of strength. She chose not to turn her pain into content, not to fuel the headlines with her heartbreak. In her quiet, she preserves what little dignity the internet hasn't already stolen. She's processing this devastating betrayal away from the public eye, and honestly, that takes more courage than any press release or interview ever could. Imagine what she's enduring right now. Every song on the radio likely reminds her of memories that now feel false. Every photo in her home tells a story she once believed in but now knows was built on deception. Even friends offering sympathy might also be those who suspected something but stayed silent. The isolation of this kind of betrayal is crushing, and she's going through it while millions of strangers dissect her private life like a public spectacle. Meanwhile, the corporate fallout is equally chilling. Astronomer, the tech company at the center of the scandal, now finds itself being judged not for its innovation, but for the personal ethics of its leadership. How do you maintain trust in a CEO whose personal judgment is under global scrutiny? Or a chief people officer whose role was to foster workplace integrity while engaging in a relationship that violated it? But beyond boardrooms and headlines, this story is ultimately about the human cost of betrayal. It's about a woman who believed in her marriage, who trusted the man she shared her life with, and who had to watch that trust implode in front of 46 million people. Affairs happen every day, but most don't unravel this publicly. And while the pain she's feeling is familiar to countless betrayed spouses, hers is magnified by memes, mockery, and millions of views. This scandal isn't just a cautionary tale about infidelity or public behavior. It's a stark reminder of how quickly our private moments can become viral property. We've built a culture where empathy is drowned by engagement, where someone's heartbreak becomes content, and where the deepest human experiences are dissected by people who will never know what it feels like to live through them. As this story fades from the trending page, Andy Byron's wife will still be rebuilding, reconstructing a life that shattered in the glare of a stadium screen. The saddest part isn't just the affair, it's that her pain became a joke, a meme, a trending moment. We need to stop and ask, what kind of society are we becoming when someone else's worst day becomes our best entertainment? This scandal is more than gossip, it's a reflection of us. And as it continues to unfold, with questions still swirling, will Andy and his wife reconcile? What becomes of Astronomer? Can Kristen Catt salvage her career? The most important question is about us. What kind of people are we when we consume someone's personal collapse like a punchline? If this story made you think differently, if it stirred something in you, let that be a beginning. Share this message not to entertain, but to awaken. Because real change doesn't come from algorithms, it comes from individuals choosing empathy over entertainment. And maybe, just maybe, we can build a culture where viral doesn't mean cruel, where dignity is valued, and where someone's pain no longer fuels our clicks.